Thanks so much for joining us here on KREM 2. I wanted to get really in depth here with the weather impact alert day that we are going to be having for this upcoming weekend, because we have a couple of days to prepare for some critical to extreme fire weather conditions. So that's what you need to be aware of. We have seen very dry conditions all through the month of July, with just a trace amount of precipitation recorded out at the Spokane International Airport. We will continue to be dry as we enter the month of August, and not only that, but an incoming system is expected to really pick up our winds here, delivering, unfortunately, the threat of some critical to extreme fire danger for Saturday. So that's what you need to know when it comes to this weather impact alert that we are going to be under here for this coming weekend. Let's talk about this, because this has been put in place by the National Weather Service. It is a widespread fire weather watch that is spanning across the entire inland Northwest. So you can see most of central and eastern Washington through North Idaho, as well as western Montana. Because of the relatively low humidity we are set to face on Saturday afternoon, and then the strong winds. We're talking wind gusts near 40 miles per hour, but even some areas across the region could see isolated gusts near 50 miles per hour. So at this point, the National Weather Service hasn't upgraded these to red flag warnings, but the closer to Saturday we get, we do anticipate them to turn over into that pink shading that we experience. As we kind of break down what's happening weather-wise, over the next couple of days, we have high pressure building to our south. This is what is continuing to deliver us very summer-like conditions, the warm temperatures, plenty of sunshine. But then as we move into this coming weekend, we have this low pressure system that moves to the north of our region. This is expected to deliver the potential of some showers over parts of western Washington, but all that moisture gets stopped over the Cascades and then the inland Northwest. We are set to see the gusty winds out of this system. So leading up to this, it's really important that you have a plan when it comes to wildfire season. We have been in the thick of it, but some reminders for you, especially with a couple of more mild days ahead of Saturday. Make sure that you have a plan and you know what to do in the event of an evacuation occurring where you live. So having a route in place, coordinating with family members so that you have an idea of where to go and what to do in these circumstances, because wildfire activity, when we see this combination of weather conditions, can rapidly get out of control. Listen to emergency channels. Make sure you have a way to do that, and also have a go bag ready to go with necessities. Things like medication you might need or essentials, important documents. Have that in a place where you know exactly where it's at, so that it is easy to grab in the event that you are under a level 3 go now evacuation because of a wildfire. Let's talk about some of this relative humidity, because this is fast forwarding into Saturday, and of course we are still a couple of days out. Our modeling gets just even better the closer to Saturday that we are. So for Saturday afternoon, early afternoon by about 2:30, that's when conditions start to get really dry across central and eastern Washington, as well as North Idaho. Anything below 30% is considered dry, and then when we are experiencing relative humidity as low as the teens, that is when we see extremely dry conditions. So we're going to prepare to see that. We do see the improvements in the overnight after the sun sets and heading into Sunday, but the main focus is going to be on Saturday afternoon and early evening, because we're combining that relatively low humidity with the big driver of the potential of new fires spreading, or even existing fires losing out of the containment. It has to do with these elevated winds that are going to come sweeping through on Saturday. So as we get into Saturday morning here, it's going to be a bit breezy out toward the Cascade Gaps. We're even seeing some pockets towards southeast Washington where those winds start to pick up. But then into Saturday afternoon, that continues to escalate. We're talking near 40-mile-per-hour gusts expected out in Ellensburg and parts of the Kittitas Valley. These winds, though, they continue to even increase the further into the afternoon and early evening that we get. The main threat of this being the gusts near 40 miles per hour through some areas, and even isolated parts of the region anticipating to see the potential for gusts near 50 miles per hour. So those areas that are expecting to see the strongest wind gusts are going to be the Waterville Plateau, parts of the Cascade Gaps, the LC Valley, as well as the West Plains areas. So that will be continued to be highlighted the closer we get to it, as we're watching for who is really experiencing some of those stronger winds. But those are our typical areas, and so will be a point of concern moving forward. The winds, though, the good news is they do die down into Sunday. It's still going to be a little bit breezy on Sunday, so we have elevated fire weather risk, but but the main day for our weather impact alert is going to be Saturday. That's highlighted in red. So like I said, right now we have a couple of days to prepare for this. Things like planning an evacuation plan, things like having a go bag ready to go at a moment's notice in case you are forced under an evacuation. But this weather impact alert, it is going to be for all day Saturday until 11 p.m. So know that that is going to be a day where we're facing that elevated to critical fire weather risk. The dry cold front moving through on Saturday, it does deliver us some slightly breezy winds on Sunday, but what it also really does is drops down our temperature pretty significantly. We will see below average temperatures, highs in the upper 70s, before we see a mostly dry start to the first week of August and through the rest of our extended forecast. So be fire weather aware. We want to avoid doing anything that could cause a spark. Avoid using things like fireworks. Of course, check your local burn bans. Campfires really not allowed across the region, but make sure that you are checking through your local areas for that exact updated information, and also try to avoid any yard work that could cause a spark.